they look to Hollywood and they hire Hollywood writers who've never been in a locker room, who've never had any experience in wrestling or writing a wrestling show. And then you got the Bruces and you got the Hayeses and you got everybody right down the line intimidating the crap out of them. So now 3 months in, they're getting coffee for everybody.
I'm wondering when he's having conversations with like a Mark Shapiro or a Nick Khan or a Ari Emanuel even. How does he justify these decline of ratings? Does he justify it with having international deals and all that stuff?
Chris, that's a really, really, really good question. Bro, I hope he's not stupid enough to say because this was on and that was on and this was on, because something's always going to be on. Something, I don't care what it is, bro. Bro, again, Vince McMahon himself said to me, he made it real clear, if it's good, they'll watch it. I don't care what else is on. I don't care what we're up against. If it's good, they'll watch it. I hope he's not making excuses. I really hope he's not making excuses. But Chris, there was something out today which made me freaking chuckle. And they're reporting that they're now looking for more creative people in order to make the product more enjoyable. So let me get this straight. So we're not enjoying the product and you were just going to continue to let this go. But now, like I said, bro, those Nielsen numbers the last 2 weeks, bro, that's an eye opener. Like that is like, oh my, Chris, I swear, like I kept saying to myself, maybe it'll be a red flag when they go under 1 million. Maybe that's the wake-up call. But Chris, I was saying that, never thinking they'd go under 1 million. Because, consistently they were like 1.3. And I'm like, they're not going to lose another 300,000. Bro, they're right there.
Yeah.
Right
at the cusp.
There.
Yeah.
Yes, right there.
Yeah. I just think that from a reporting perspective, I'm just wondering, like, who in the office told somebody, hey guys, hey man, we're looking for some more people, man. You know what I mean? Because we got to spice this thing up. We got to make this more enjoyable, man.
Chris, you know what their problem is, bro? Because I did this throughout my career. Here's their problem. I was groomed. I was a wrestling fan, and then I was working for the company. I was writing the magazine, and little by little, Vince took me under his wing and groomed me. I was being groomed. I groomed younger writers in the business. Jeremy Borash, who is freaking Hunter's right-hand man now, was groomed by me. At TNA, it was Matt Conway, groomed by me. So these were people that were wrestling fans, already working in the company, and then somebody took them under their wing. That has never happened in the WWE. What do? They look to Hollywood and they hire Hollywood writers who've never been in a locker room, who've never had any experience in wrestling or writing a wrestling show. And then you got the Bruces and you got the Hayeses and you got everybody right down the line intimidating the crap out of them. So now 3 months in, they're getting coffee for everybody. Bro, here, Chris, this is what it is across the board. The system is broken from writing, from people going through NXT and never getting over. The system is broken and they're doing nothing to try and fix that system.
Yeah. And it's just from mentally though, do you really think that they don't think this is broken?
They'll never sell that it's broken.
Right.
They'll always convince people that it's the best it's ever been. I mean, they will always convince people of that. That's what they do. But they gotta know. They gotta know, Chris. They gotta know.
Someone like, say for instance, you work with someone like a Bruce Pritchard. You want to talk about right-hand man. He was Vince's right-hand man for several years. What do you think he's back there thinking?
Chris, I could tell you this about Bruce. I could tell you this about Bruce without a shadow of a doubt. Even when Bruce was writing, even when it was Bruce and Vince, when it was Bruce and Cornette, when it was Bruce and Pat, okay? Bro, I can't tell you how many times Bruce would write the show. He'd be sitting at Gorilla. He'd be watching it. Bro, I can't tell you how many times I heard Bruce say, that was the drizzling you-know-whats. I've heard Bruce say that a million times of stuff his name was on. I never, ever, ever heard Bruce Pritchard put something over that sucked. And I'm being totally honest, even if it was his work. I could tell you Bruce is not that guy. Bruce is not that guy.
So he would be the last person that would go out to one of these post-show pressers to talk about the show if it wasn't that good.
Bruce is not that guy. If the show wasn't that good, the farthest Bruce would go would be to not say anything. Yeah. If Bruce isn't saying anything, you know Bruce didn't like the show.
Yeah. It's an interesting dynamic, man, because it just on the money end, you know, you're getting deals with Perth and Saudi. I mean, rumored to be $350 million deal with the combination of Royal Rumble and WrestleMania. And it's like, okay, on that end, you're like, okay, well, you got $350 million rumored. So they're like, okay, cha-ching. But from the booking product, from the booking perspective and longevity,
yeah,
you know what I mean. That's really what it's all. It's longevity, man. Like, yeah, we
Chris,
can.
You want to know something that's really interesting, and this is where I think you're going to start seeing problems, bro. Coach and I today had Chris McCumber on the show. Chris McCumber was the dude that hired me as the consultant. So Bruce McCumber was a high-ranking official at USA Network, and he was overseeing Raw. So he was talking to Bruce and talking to Vince and talking to Kevin on a daily basis for years and years and years and years. And, you know, and I knew this too, but Chris pointed out to us today, he basically said, and everybody in wrestling knows this, he basically said, professional wrestling is very inexpensive to produce. And it's pretty steady. You know what you're gonna get with it. So you're paying a low price because it's inexpensive to produce. Yeah. You know what you're gonna get. And Chris said, compare that to a new series on the USA Network. All the money that's being invested in it, you have no idea what this series is going to do. So this show may go 4 to 6 weeks, 4 to 6 episodes. You sunk millions and millions and millions of dollars into it, and it's over. Yeah. So there's a high risk involved. He said with wrestling, you never had that risk because it's very cheap to produce, and you know at least X amount of people are going to watch it, and it's 52 weeks out of the year. All that makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. Here's the difference, Chris. The money they're paying now they're paying millions and billions of dollars for that product. Now they're paying just as much money for that as they would if they were producing original content. So it's no longer cheap for them, or it's no longer, you know, when they budget it out over a year, it no longer has the same worth now that it had even 5 or 10 years ago. That's why it's very, very different right now, because these partners are paying a lot of money.
Yeah, that makes sense.